My next guest is an Australian based 7 figure business coach helping busy women build and scale their high ticket memberships without sacrifice. Please welcome Toni Bache. Welcome to the Powerful Female Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Anna Patricia Bourgeois, certified business coach. I am here to help you up-level, generate consistent wealth, increase your confidence, attract dream clients, and master your mindset so that you can fully own your power and achieve next-level results in your online business and beyond. Every week, a powerful conversation will take place with amazing guests, or I'll share from my experience to help inspire you to start and scale the business of your dreams while being powerfully you. The time has come to stop playing small, stop hiding, and stop waiting. Now is the perfect time for you to passionately pursue your heart's desire as the powerful leader you were born to be. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Female Leaders Podcast. I am here today with Toni. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. So I know you are a 7 figure business coach. You help busy women build and scale their memberships without sacrifice.
That's the key part.
Yeah.
The scaling part's easy. But not killing yourself in the process is the hard part.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Like, I hear this all the time. Like, how do I scale without, sacrificing my time and my money and my freedom? So yeah, let's go ahead with that.
Yeah, sure. Look, I think for me, when I first started my business, I was still working full-time in corporate. And so I
Yeah.
had to get pretty savvy at, how I could balance both because I had no option. Like I didn't have, there's only a certain number of hours in each day, right? So I had to
Mhm.
sort of figure that out on my own. And that sort of led to me being pretty savvy at it. But along the way, I also learned like a lot of sort of personal development lessons about, putting your life first before your business. And so now I'm really
Mhm.
passionate about doing it for myself and coaching others on, really designing your life first and identifying, how do you want your life to be? Like, how many hours do you want to work? Where do you want to work from?
Mm.
Like, what do you actually love doing? And how much downtime do you want? What else are
Yeah.
you juggling in your life? Really, and how do you want to feel? I guess most importantly, and
Yeah.
I really get them to map that out, and that then really defines. If you don't already have a business, that'll help define. The parameters in which you can set up your business, and if you have a business, it can really help you get clarity about what you need to focus on as opposed to so many of us kind of end up kind of having a business by default rather than by design. And so it's all about being very
Mm.
intentional. And then, of course, like once you've done that, there's lots of little hacks that you need to do to
Yeah.
save yourself time and make sure you're getting support and all of those good things. There's more to it than just like ideation and setting up this is how I want it to be, but it's all very, very possible. Like I've seen this happen hundreds, if not thousands of times. So I'm pretty confident it's not just a fluke
Yeah.
that myself and a couple of my clients managed to do it. No, it's hundreds, if not thousands of people. So
Wow, that's incredible. And like, what's the story of how you got to do this type of work?
it's a funny story. I'll
Yeah.
try and keep it short, but it's a bit of a long story. So I've always been super entrepreneurial. So I had a pretty stellar corporate career. I was sort of at a vice president level in a multinational Fortune 500 in multiple multinational Fortune 500 companies for a very big chunk of my life and climbed the
Hmm.
corporate ladder. But I always had like a little side gig. I always had something going on the side because I was just super passionate about I don't know, I guess I always just felt like I was made for more. And it wasn't always about I'm trying to exit corporate. I think deep down I wanted other options, but it wasn't like looking for an escape, but more just I loved the challenge of it. And so I'd never done an online course or membership, though I'd always done sort of
Hmm.
products or services, but not sort of a membership or a course. And I had been unwell myself. Like, I don't know exactly what it was. I never got to the bottom of it, but I was just like really sick. And I literally would come home from work and I would crawl into bed and my husband would bring me mashed potato and gravy because my throat was so sore that that's all I could eat.
Yeah.
And I was just so, I had vertigo all the time, and I'd seen doctors and I'd had like a small surgery on my ear to try and regain my balance, and nothing was working. And I just went, you know what, I need to start taking control of my own health. And I had always been like too busy to
Mm-hmm.
exercise. I would be like, right, I'm setting a goal. I'm going to exercise for an hour 3 times this week. And then it would be like, oh, I got caught up at work. I'm too busy. I'm too tired today. There'd be some excuse. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to make myself exercise every single day for 30 days. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't matter if I, just do some light stretching or I sweat it out. It doesn't matter. It's about building the consistency and the habit of
Mm.
exercising every day. So
Mm-hmm.
that 30 days came to an end and I was like, that wasn't too bad. And then it became 90. And then, next thing you know, it was 365 days, a full year. And my husband said to me, oh, you should write a blog post about it. That's like a pretty amazing experience. I'd never written a blog post before. And he had this blog for runners. He's a runner, but it wasn't like a popular blog. It was like family and friends read it. But I wrote this blog post and it got picked up by Ariana Huffington's publication
Wow.
Thrive. And so then I had like hundreds of people reaching out to me going, hey, like I want to do this too. Like, can you help me do it? So I was like having that entrepreneurial spark. I was like, opportunity. I can, I see this as an opportunity for a business, but B, I actually genuinely want to help these people. And so from there, I decided to launch a course. And literally it was like 2 weeks, I went from like having the blog post published to starting the course. As in that 2 weeks, I built a website. I created the course. In that, it wasn't all done. It was kind of the concept was done and I was kind of making it up as I went along. I had marketed it. And in that time, I didn't spend any money. I spent $50 on hosting an email service provider, and that's all I spent. So I got over
Mm-hmm.
300 people in my first round of this course. And I
Wow.
didn't know that was good, right? Like, because I hadn't come from this online course and membership
Yeah.
world. I thought that was like, I'm like, oh, I could probably do better next time, like didn't realize that was good. And so from there, like the course was super successful. I ran it a couple of times and then I just had this feeling in my gut that, I wanted to continue on the journey with these people because I'd kind of just taught them one component, but there was so much more that I could help them with. But also, I wanted to
Mm.
make sure they stuck with it. Like, I didn't want them to kind of have this short term win and then go back to, old habits. And so I wanted to keep helping them and they wanted more. And so I said, look, I've got this crazy idea. I don't know if it's a thing or what it is, but what if you just paid me a little bit each month and I taught you new stuff each month and helped you each month? So that was like my first membership, but I thought I invented memberships. Like I was like, I don't know if it's been done before. Like I clearly didn't, but I was just so naive in that moment
Yeah.
that the membership grew and became very, very successful. And from that, a whole bunch of people asked me for help, setting up their businesses online and their memberships. And my
Mm.
corporate career was in, business coaching and helping, develop the business and grow the business in a whole bunch of different ways. And my passion was always business. And I had been the nerd that did like every course, every single reading to make sure I applied that to my own business. And so I started doing it for friends and then they referred it to other people. And then it got too big from there. And that's when it really became a proper
Wow.
business coaching business where I actually did lots of coaching and had a membership around me helping them coach in their business and all of those sorts of things. So that's a long story,
Wow.
but I hope that that gives you the background that it's that whole Steve Jobs things. You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. I would have never imagined that this would be my business journey for sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like that's incredible. So, what would you say is like the key, like the first thing to do to really build a high ticket membership that has traction?
Yeah, look, honestly, there's a big piece of advice that I would give everybody, which is fall in love with your people, not in love with your
Yeah.
product. And I think that's really key, is like really making sure that you really lean into who your ideal person is, what's their
Mm-hmm.
big problem, and how you can help them solve that problem. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you do that, and when I say, lean into it, I literally ask them, right? Like, we don't have to live in this vacuum of trying to guess. Like, literally ask people that you think are your ideal customers, and work from there. Because as long as you're solving people's problems, you'll
Mm-hmm.
always be successful in business. Like, as long as you're making
Mm.
people's lives easier by solving their problems, you'll always be in business.
I love that so much. And I feel like there's a huge stigma right now in the online space where it's like, oh, don't push on people's pains and problems. Like, it's funny like that you say that because it's like the basis of everything that we do.
That's it. And look, I do think, some people can get a bit icky. There's like what I
Yeah.
call the bro marketers, where they really sort of try to manipulate it
Yeah.
and really, like, lean into it in an icky way. You don't have to do it in an icky way. Like, how
Mm-hmm.
I like to look at it is, I'm never really that keen on selling, and I'm probably more pro selling than 99% of my clients. Like, most of my clients hate selling, but I'm like, you're really not looking at it as selling to people. You're looking at it as serving them. Like, they have a
Mm-hmm.
problem, which means they're in pain of some kind. And if you can help them get out of that pain, and you're really confident and comfortable you can help them, you're actually
Mm-hmm.
doing them a disservice if you don't, like, let them know that
Yeah.
that option's there, and serve them. And so it's not about being a hard bro marketer, icky salesperson that's kind of really
Mm-hmm.
like, here's your problem, like, but it's like, hey, I can show you an easier way. Like, I can help you with this.
Yeah.
Do you want to be on board?
Yes, I love that. I love that specification for sure. And yeah, like honestly, what you do is incredible. And I know that your clients must have incredible results. So I want you to brag a little. Like, what's the most incredible results that you've
Oh,
gotten?
that's a great question. The first one that came to mind, but I don't know if it's the most incredible, but I have somebody like inside my high ticket membership, which is like very high touch, an amazing group of women that are 6+ figures business owners. I had somebody who, she has a course and a membership, and she was
Mm-hmm.
going to launch a new course, and she was going to launch it in June, and then she saw an opportunity to launch it in May, but she wasn't ready. Like, she didn't have the course ready, she didn't have the emails ready. So I encouraged her. I was like, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So she
Mm.
launched this course that doesn't exist yet. It's still like, she's done a lot of work in terms of outline and planning and preparation, but it's not finalized yet. And she quickly threw together, I think it was 5 emails that she sent out to just the people on the wait list for the course, not even
Mm-hmm.
her entire list. And she managed to get a 6-figure launch in May,
Wow.
and she's not officially launching till June. So that was a big moment for her, because it was her first 6-figure launch. And
Yeah.
but she's done multiple, launches, even just this year, that are close to that. But to think that it's 6-figure in pre-launch, she was pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
But I think, like, what lights me up more is, and there's quite a few clients that this has happened with, but there's one in particular that I'm thinking of. When I first met her, I wasn't working with her at that stage. She was working like 40+ hours a week and making like $2,000 a month from her membership.
Wow.
And she had an amazing membership, but just, needed to kind of streamline things and improve her messaging and her marketing. And so when she came on to work with me, we managed to flip that around. And so, now she's making 30K, 40K months. And honestly, she's on the fast track to 100K months. If she's not there in 12 months, I'll be shocked. But now she only works like 2-3 hours a week, and she's like always saying, like, I feel like I need to be doing more, like, because before I was like hustling so hard. And that's the success stories that I love the most, because as much as like having a massive 6-figure launch is incredible, and she's also done it reducing the time she's working in the business, but I think that massive flip of like working really hard and making not much money
Mm.
to not working very hard and making a lot of money. Like that's what lights me up, because seeing people get that time back with their family or to, on
Mm-hmm.
themselves or their hobbies, like that's what lights me up. Oh, and I just get so much more excited by my clients' results than my own. Like it's so funny. Like
Yeah.
I'm cheering them on and I'm like, okay, where are you at now? Like, it's really funny. And then like when we have a result in our own business, it's like, oh, that's okay, that's cool. Like, but for my clients, oh man, I'm just like, I'm so excited by it. So
Amazing. So I want to chat a little bit about mindset and like what really keeps people away from starting a membership. Like, what would you say is the biggest key that's holding them back?
I think the biggest thing, well, I think there's a couple of misnomers. One is that you can't make a lot of money from memberships because they're low ticket. And so it's kind of a misnomer for
Mhm.
two reasons. One is it doesn't have to be low ticket. You can charge as much as you like. I've got clients
Mm.
that charge as little as $7 a month for their membership and as much as $2,500 a month for their membership. So
Yeah.
it's a misnomer for that reason. But even my clients with low ticket memberships, like the person that I was just talking about that does easy 30, 40K launches, and she recently got $22,000 just from a quick email that she sent. Her membership's only $39. Like it's not, and it's only recently increased in price from, I think it was 27 or 29. So it's that's a big misnomer. And I think the other thing is people feel like they need to be really changed to their memberships. Like if they had a membership, they could never take a holiday. They'd have to do it all. It would be all on their
Mm.
shoulders. And it's just not true. I mean,
Mhm.
we have people that literally don't show up in their membership at all. That's the way they've structured their
Wow.
membership. And we have, like, in my membership, I show up, I have two. I have a lower ticket membership and a higher ticket membership. In my higher ticket membership, I show up multiple times a week.
Mhm.
But I still have like the time I need to myself, because I want to set an example to my clients. Like I don't want to be an example where I'm like, I never take time off. I want them to actually
Mhm.
see that you can do that. So I think that's the two biggest mindset blocks is, can I make enough money, and is it going to suck too much of my time?
Mm. Yeah. It's so good to be debunking those myths.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I would say is people just not believing they're good enough in business in general. Like, can I
Yeah.
really do this? And oh gosh, like, I mean, if you've got a talent you can share with the world, you're really doing the world a disservice if you don't share it in
Yes.
some way, shape, or form.
Yes. So go reach out to Toni, get her help, and get started.
100%. Like I'd say that's the biggest thing. And if you look at my path that I sort of shared before,
Yeah.
it's just about jumping in and taking action. Like it doesn't matter if it's
Yeah.
imperfect action. You're going to learn more from jumping in and making a whole bunch of mistakes than what you'll learn from
Mhm.
just like, reading another book or sitting and thinking about it more. I would just say, like like you said, feel free to
Yeah.
reach out and ask for help, but just if in doubt, jump in, make it happen.
Yes, you got this. We're all behind you.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. So I ask this to everyone who comes on the show, and I'm really curious to know your take on it. What does being a powerful leader mean to you?
That's a great question. Look, I think to me, powerful and leadership, like power and leadership, is about influence. And for me, if
Mhm.
I am influencing people in any way, shape, or form, that's powerful leadership to me. And I don't mean influence in like, let me spruik a bikini on my Instagram and hope you buy it. But I mean, if one person from listening to this podcast goes, you know what, I am going to jump in and take action and start that business I've always dreamt of doing, like that's to
Mhm.
me
Yeah.
powerful leadership. If you can evoke action out of other people and get them to be part of a life changing movement, then that's pretty powerful as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that. Like honestly, that's really like so fulfilling when you see your work being taken like to this next level of okay, I see I have this challenge and I'm going to work through it. I'm going to take action and I'm going to get the results. So I
Exactly.
love that you said that.
And my mission is really, I want my marketing to change more lives than my business ever does. Like, I'm not just here
Yeah.
to serve paying customers. Like, obviously, I can give paying customers more of my time and attention, but I really want to, I guess, from that position of powerful leadership, influence people to really step into that life and that business they can really have. I think everybody is made for more, and if they're kind of
Yeah.
either not taking the step into business, or they've taken the step but they're not all in, like, this is your calling to do it. This is the sign
Yeah.
you've been waiting for. So
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, do you have any last piece of wisdom that you'd like to share with the audience today?
no, I think honestly, just go for it. That would be
Yeah.
my big piece of advice is stop procrastinating, stop getting it perfect, and just go for it. Imperfect action trumps no action any day of the week.
Yes. Amen. Awesome. So, where can people go to connect with you further online?
Yeah, you can find me. I'm on most of the social channels is just Toni Bache, my name. So you can find me and connect with me there. I'm a pretty open book and always happy to chat with anyone.
Amazing. Go follow Toni. She's awesome. And thank you so much again for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Powerful Female Leaders podcast. If you love this episode, make sure to spread the message, leave a review, and subscribe. I would forever be grateful for you. I also want to hear from you, and I want to know your feedback and your questions for future episodes. So don't be shy, say hi, and send me a message at Powerful Female Leaders Podcast on Instagram. Until then, I'll see you on the next episode.